Alex sat on the cold bench in front of the school, his eyes filled with tears. The wind gently lifted the golden leaves, twirling them in the air before softly laying them at his feet. His classmates passed by, some laughing, some sharing news, but no one noticed him. He was alone, completely alone. Every morning he sat there, watching a world that seemed to move on without him. Sometimes a deep sadness washed over him, how he longed for the warmth of his parents and the friendship of his peers. But there were also moments when he simply dreamed. He dreamed of becoming a doctor, yet that dream felt so distant, almost unreachable. He sat there until the last moment, waiting for the school bell to ring. And then, with a heavy heart, he trudged toward the classroom. The hum of voices fills the classroom. Alex sits hunched over his desk, trying to hide behind his textbook, forcing himself to focus on the lesson. But the whispers behind his back, the laughter, the shoves, they act as if they don't see how much it hurts him. "Hey, look at him!" Thinks he's a doctor, a mocking voice laughs. "You're a loser." The words come from all directions. "A smarty pants in old rags. What century is that sweater from?" Laughter erupts across the classroom like rolling thunder. Someone throws a crumpled paper ball at him. He tries to ignore it, pretends he can't hear or see anything, but his fingers betray him, clenching into a fist. His heart pounds heavily in his chest. A sharp pain squeezes his ribs, so intense he wants to scream, but he stays silent. But everything has a limit. He suddenly stands up and rushes out of the classroom. The fresh air hits his face, but it doesn't bring relief. Alex walks across the schoolyard with his head down. Children run around, laughing, chatting, but he is a stranger in this world. "Hey, look who's here," someone shouts. A group of boys exchange glances, smirking. "Hey, Alex, we were thinking, maybe you'd be better off studying at the dumpster. At least everyone there dresses like you." Laughter, snickering, whispers behind his back. Alex freezes. He wants to walk away, but his legs won't move. He searches for even a trace of kindness in someone's eyes, but all he finds is ridicule. He shrinks his shoulders, takes a step back, then another, and runs. In the distance, the sound of the school bell echoed, but Alex had no desire to go to class. He sat on his favorite bench, the one where no one bothered him. Beside him, his loyal friend, a stray dog named Fox, settled down. Fox always greeted him with bright, happy eyes and was always ready to listen to his long monologues. Alex sat there, whispering the words he couldn't say to people. "You're the only one who understands me." Fox wagged his tail, pressing against him, waiting for a reward. Sometimes other stray dogs would approach, knowing that Alex would always share his food. He couldn't let them go hungry. They were his real family. The city moved on with its life. Cars passed by. People rushed about their business. But Alex just walked, humming quietly to himself and dreaming. In these walks, he found comfort. He dreamed of the future, of one day becoming a doctor, of saving lives, but his dreams felt so far away. "Will I ever make it?" he whispered to himself. Deep inside, he carried a fear that he might never get the chance. On the streets, Alex often ran into an old woman he knew. She was very elderly, but her face always lit up when she saw him. Whenever she needed help, he was there. "Thank you, my dear," she would smile. You have a kind heart, Alex. And it wasn't just her. He was always ready to lend a helping hand to those in need. Alex often visited the cemetery, walking slowly and sorrowfully along the narrow path leading to the graves of his loved ones. His parents and brother were buried here. Among the cold marble headstones, he felt more alone than ever. No matter how many years had passed, the pain never faded. "Why?" he whispered, clenching his fists. "Why don't I have a family? Why am I all alone?" His eyes filled with tears. He covered his face with his hands, lost in memories. A small, happy Alex. A joyful family, frequent travels. And then, during one of those trips, an awful moment, a car crash, screams. When he woke up, the world was no longer the same. His happy life had ended. Only his grandmother remained by his side. She became his rock, his only support. Recently, he had learned that she was terminally ill. Now, fear gripped his heart once more. The pain surged through his chest with renewed force. He wandered the streets, watching people pass by, feeding stray cats, but his thoughts were with his grandmother. He loved her deeply, and he worried. A dreadful feeling weighed on him, a sense that something inevitable and terrible was about to happen. Today, Alex returned home later than usual. A deep unease weighed on his heart, a foreboding sense that something was irreversibly changing. His grandmother was waiting for him, sitting in her old armchair. She looked even weaker today, but her eyes still shone with warmth and love. "Come here, Alex," she whispered. He sat down beside her, and she took his hand. Her fingers were warm but fragile, like an autumn leaf. She gazed into his eyes for a long time, as if memorizing every detail of his face. "I've always known you are special," she said, her breath shallow. "You are strong, kind. You have a dream. And I want you to promise me something." Alex swallowed the lump in his throat and nodded. "Then remember this. What you believe in becomes your reality. Promise me that you will always believe in the best, believe in yourself, in your dream. If you keep moving toward it, no matter what, you will achieve it." Alex listened, holding his breath. His grandmother pulled him closer. But a dream is not just a wish. You must act, move toward it, not just drift among the clouds. Take a step, and you will see how the world begins to help you. And one more thing. She looked at him with tenderness. Always treat the world with kindness, the way you want it to treat you. Alex nodded, but fear settled deep in his heart. There was something in her voice, something final. "You're going to get better, right?" he asked, his voice pleading. She only smiled and said nothing. "You will become a great doctor, my boy. I know it." The next morning, she was gone. Alex stood by his grandmother's empty bed. She was gone. She had left him completely alone in this cruel world. He couldn't breathe. The pain was tearing him apart from the inside. The ground seemed to slip away beneath his feet. Months passed, and one day, a young couple came into his life. They wanted to welcome him into their family. They loved Alex and cared for him as if he were their own son. At first, Alex didn't believe it. He was afraid to get attached, afraid to lose someone again. But they never gave up on him. They spent time with him, talked to him, and taught him. They helped him remember who he was and what his dream was. They believed in him, and Alex didn't let them down. He picked up his books again. He studied day and night, preparing for university. Every time he felt exhausted or doubtful, he heard his grandmother's voice. You must believe. You must act. He never gave up. And here it is, the long-awaited victory, the dream come true. Many years had passed. A young, handsome, and happy man was walking down the grand steps of a prestigious university, dressed in his black graduation gown and mortarboard. It was Alex. His eyes sparkled with joy and pride at his success. He did it. He had become the top student. He had earned his doctorate. In the crowd stood his friends, his adoptive parents, and the people who had always believed in him. He lifted his head toward the sky. "Thank you, Grandma," he whispered. Years passed. His spacious office was adorned with diplomas and awards. He had become a respected doctor, with patients coming to see him from all over the world. His colleagues admired him. And he had a wonderful relationship with his parents. But his greatest achievement was his family, his wife and their little daughter. His wife and daughter often visited him at work. Alex would lift his daughter into his arms, hold her close, and look into her eyes. And in them, he saw a reflection of himself, the little boy who once sat on a bench outside school, dreaming of a better future. "Do you know what I dream of?" he asked his wife, smiling at her and their daughter. "What, Alex?" "That our daughter will always believe in herself, in her dreams, and that she will always treat the world with kindness." His wife laughed softly and looked at him with love. At that moment, Alex knew his grandmother would be proud of him. Her words had stayed in his heart forever, and now he would pass them on to his daughter. Believe in yourself, believe in your dreams, and you will achieve anything.